Podcast. I am your host, Sam Randazzo, and I am joined by my 2 1/4 co-hosts. To my right, the enraged, the one and only Uncle Sam.
Is that at me?
Hello, everyone.
Whoa. We had an everyone today. To my left, it is none other than our very own Solo, Mr. Mike Palazzolo.
Alani knew, why haven't you sponsored us yet?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
you know
what
what?
I'm-
What are we
Aladdin, I'm a little fucking disappointed in them right now. I've been
What are we
pumping their
doing?
shit now for a year.
Pumping
And,
their shit.
Yes, pumping their shit for a year.
So, we got a lot to talk about today. But first, how's everybody without me? It was 10 days without me.
It was actually very nice.
Was it?
Yes.
You enjoyed just,
Sam's been gone for 10 days and gained 20 pounds.
Yes, I have. So a lot of pasta. Shout out to Little Frankie's NYC. They kept the pasta.
They kept the pasta flowing.
That's Lil Frankie's. I'd hate to see what Big Frankie's is capable of.
I haven't been to Big Frank's, but Little Frankie's with the spaghetti lemon, my God, top notch. Zolo, how you been?
Good. Getting ready for Sunday, gearing up for Sunday. What else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Everybody's gearing up for Sunday, bro.
Everyone's gearing up. Listen, I want it on the record, and I'm tooting my own horn here, which I don't do enough, as arrogant as I am. I called that when the schedule came out. Did I not? We could pull the clip if you want.
What's that?
Called what?
I said that if they win that first game in Kansas City, it's the biggest thing to come out of it wasn't beating the Chiefs. It wasn't going to be beating the defending champions on the road. It wasn't even starting. Well, no, this is a part of it. Dan Campbell has never coached a game at Ford Field with a winning record. He's going into Ford Field for the first time with a winning record after the offseason that they had, the draft, the free agency, all of the hype. So there was already intense hype for Lions Fever going into last week. And then you add that, you compile it into the win. I said it. I don't know if you guys remember. I said people are going to lose their minds for that first home game. And it's just reminiscent of that Monday Night Football game against the Bears back in 2011. That, to me, was peak Ford Field. It's the best I've ever heard it. It's come close a couple times, but I'm fully expecting madness on Sunday.
All I want to see is some big, giant, drunk hillbilly punch Bruce in the mouth. That's all I want to see.
Love to see that. Yeah.
And guess what? I might go there just to Superman punch you.
Bruce, how's it going
See
over
you
there?
down there.
How's it going, Bruce?
It's fantastic.
Good. We got a lot to talk about today. We're gonna start off Monday Night Football, Jets versus Bills.
You were there?
I was there, and I've been to some good games in my day, some good atmospheres. I was at the game Zolo said Monday night.
Super Bowls.
Lions,
I
Bears.
don't even know where to begin.
Couple of Super Bowls in there. The Brady homecoming game in New England when he was on the Buccaneers. You want to talk about electric atmospheres? There was so much excitement. I mean, the parking lot, I saw it clicked the news station on. There were people tailgating in the parking lot at MetLife at 8 a.m. on Monday. The place was wild. Helicopters all over the place. The place was electric, And I will say, the Jets,
Because it was 9/11 too.
it was 9/11. The stage was set, right? Aaron Rodgers' first game, 9/11, divisional game, Jets, Bills. Every Jets fan has the expectations to the moon.
What do you think of the Jets fan base in general?
That's my next point. The Jets fan base, it was like you mix the Jets fans with the Bills fans. It was just bedlam. I will say, the thing where they get going and they get all these old dudes in their capes up there.
And their firemen's hats?
And yeah, their firemen's hats, and they're doing and then they get the chant going. It was an awesome atmosphere, I will say that. Pre-game, the spiel they did pre-game got you ready to run through a wall. I will say, it was an awesome atmosphere. And then it was the most dramatic change in an environment that I'd ever been a part of. Hands down.
Can I tell you what it looked like on TV?
I was so asking. Elizabeth was sitting there, and I was just sitting there trying to get my phone to reload over and over and over again so I could see like what they were saying, because it was like being in a library. But yeah, tell me what they said on TV, because I still don't know.
There wasn't much of a said portion, but every third or fourth play, they would just show distraught Jet fans. They would just show them, and it was the hands and the arms were in different positions every time. The face was different every time, and I'll be honest, I was coming home from Pickle. I missed the first 5 minutes.
You missed the whole thing.
I
missed
the entire
all
thing.
the fireworks,
Yeah.
and I like next thing I know, I turn on the TV and I just see a cart coming out for him. Now, I hadn't checked my phone, no group chat messages, whatever. First thing I see is like Aaron Rodgers is in a tent and they're bringing out a cart for him.
Yeah.
And
So
that had to be pretty. I know I was texting you. And
I knew
don't know
something
if you
was
see the
wrong
cart.
with him. When he went down, he kind of stood up, and I think he felt the pain.
yeah,
And he had this weird look on his face. He looked like my brother when he used to eat too many
Ponies.
Oxycontins. And he fucking...
Oxycontin.
then he went down, and he sat down, and I was like, so he is hurt. He is hurt.
so
He knew
okay.
instantly. You could
Yes,
tell.
he knew he was done.
If you Google Jetman, all right, it was the guy he has the corner seat, first row in the corner of the section I was sitting in. I was 2 rows behind him. And he stands up. He has a license plate that he wears around his neck that says Jetman on it. He has a cape, right? And he's up there and the entire game. They let this guy, I've never seen anything like it. They let him stand, a fan, stand in the middle of the aisle for the entire time. When this happened, as soon as you saw the cart turn the corner, he collapsed. Actually collapsed.
Passed out.
Fetal position, like crying. And the funniest part about it was there was like a VIP thing next to where I was sitting, and Trayvon Diggs was in there with a couple of other guys, and they like came over to like make sure he was all right. It was, you could hear a fucking pin drop. It was silence. The entire time it was out there, there wasn't even like they're carting him off, we're going to cheer. It was just silence. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, one, I really think I was at Aaron Rodgers' last game. I know he came out with the post and he said, we're going to come back, whatever. I think that was Aaron Rodgers' last game. You don't consider retiring for the last 3 years and come back. 2, in that moment, it felt so crushed. Like, I don't like the Jets. Like, I don't fuck with the Jets. You're our resident gangrene Jets fan.
Listen, I took the name because my dad had gangrene in his foot when they cut it off. So I adopted the name gangrene.
I don't like the Jets.
That's the real story about that. You know that, right?
Yeah, they
Hey,
cut his
my grandma was a double amputee. She lived with us for 7 years. She had gangrene in both
Yes.
feet.
Yeah.
JETS.
Well, my dad had it in his toe first, and they whacked that off. Then they whacked his other
It always
toes
starts
off.
with the toe.
Yeah, it always starts with the toes.
And then there's 3 toes, and then the foot.
Well, because, my dad used to do his own shit with scissors.
Was he diabetic?
No, he was not diabetic.
So, due to my Patriots alliance, never been a Jets fan, but I did feel for everybody in that building.
I did too. You know what? I felt bad for Aaron Rodgers. I really did. You know what? I don't like to see anybody go out that way.
No.
I mean, beside J.K. Dobbins, R.I.P. J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, it's
I mean, you can't feel any more worse for somebody than some guy that's been trying to rehab for 3 straight years with serious injuries and go down and never fucking come back. And you know what? I don't think you're going to see Rodgers back either. I agree with you. Unless he goes on some darkness retreat and smokes some peyote with Bruce.
There it is.
I don't think he's coming back.
Also, I just wanted to. I got you something because I
Okay.
know how big of a Jets fan you are these days.
You didn't give me the jet bird, did you?
Listen. They had a lot of good T-shirts,
Okay.
and I was gonna be a real dick and get you something Aaron Rodgers themed,
I don't want nothing with
but
Aaron Rodgers.
I saw this and I realized that I had to get it for you. And they had it left in a XXL, and it's your boy Sauce Gardner.
That's a really nice shirt. Thank
Isn't
you.
that a nice shirt?
Show me.
Thank you.
There we go. A nice Sauce
Wow.
Gardner. There you go.
Who, by the way, got eaten alive the other day.
Now we need to talk about that. So here you go.
Wait. Hold on. I have one thing to say.
And it was one of the only ones they had in a triple X.
Wait.
Okay.
I changed my mind. I have two things to say. I'll be quick, I promise.
Go ahead.
Thing number one is I've hated Aaron Rodgers for so long
Agreed.
that I don't want to say I felt bad, but I've also grown to appreciate him over the last couple
I
years.
respect him.
And if you guys watch Hard Knocks, he was outstanding on Hard Knocks. And on top of that, I want to give a shout out to Robert Saleh, too, who was also really good on Hard Knocks, like better than Dan Campbell was on Hard Knocks. Robert Saleh is a guy that I really mess around with, and I think he's going to do great things there, whether it be this year or down the road, regardless of if Aaron Rodgers is quarterback. Number one. Number two, I do not think that Aaron Rodgers played his last downs.
You don't.
I think going into this process, he's going into it with the mindset of, I'm going to try and come back. And if the rehab doesn't go well at his age, different story.
Right.
I don't think he's done. I think he's going to give it one more go on that team just to see what it's like and go through the process and see if he can do it, because he's a cerebral type of guy.
Yeah.
Well, I
And-
will say this. If the Jets don't improve, I mean, we don't know where they're going to finish this year. I think we had the expectations of them making it to the playoffs. I'm not going to
Fringe.
count them totally out right now, but
I'm going to count them totally out right now.
I'm not counting them out until division time is done. So
We don't know how good they are because the Bills were so bad.
So yeah, let's actually talk about this game. So these are the things I took from this game. One, I left before it ended, so I missed the biggest because I was hungry. I wanted a pizza. I left before it ended. Okay,
we could tell.
Where'd you get pizza from?
Ruby Rosa. I got it was vodka sauce, red sauce, and pesto all in the same pizza. Fabulous. Recommend 10 out of 10. But
20 pounds.
But for the Jets to come back and win that game, okay? One, I was shocked because I was like, "Oh, this is right the season off. It's over." Like it felt that demoralizing in the building at that moment. But for them to come out and win that game, two things had to happen. One, the Bills had to completely fall apart on both sides of the ball, which they did. And two, the Jets defense is in my opinion very for real. So now we have a situation with the Jets, and I thought about this a lot because I didn't know what to make from them. They ran the ball extremely well. Brees Hall, 250-plus yard runs, right? Or what was it? 220-plus yard runs.
He had a 20 and an 80. He had 105 yards rushing on two
runs. Fabulous. The counter to that point is, and Dalvin Cook had a good game as well. The counter to that point is the Bills' defense, to me, looked awful. At the end of the day, Zach Wilson is not that great at football. I thought he had plenty of time. I didn't think he was all that disrupted. They were able to run gashes through the Bills' defense every single time they tried. I didn't think the Bills did that great of a job in coverage. I just don't think Zach Wilson was ready for that game. The Bills' defense, to me, didn't do anything. The counter to that is the Bills' offense looked atrocious. And I don't know if it's atrocious just because it's bad or if the Jets' defense is really, really that good. I think the Jets' defense is really, really, really good. Josh Allen was under duress.
When is the Buffalo Bills going to commit to the running game?
I will say
that is the biggest farce I've ever seen.
They don't have a running back.
I don't know who calls the plays there. I really don't. I don't know who their offensive coordinator is, but he's dog shit, dude. They're so predictable.
They are so predictable. They don't have a running back. And
they have running backs there.
They don't have a running back. You can't sell me Devin Singletary and James Cook. Neither of those two guys are elite. Period. They do not have a running back capable of them establishing a good enough running game. Their offensive line is not good enough for them to establish a power running game.
I agree.
The other thing, I thought that Sauce Gardner probably had his worst game as a pro. And that still wasn't enough for the Bills to get anything going offensively. Josh Allen looked like a deer in the headlights. It was bad. The decision making's awful. He's going to get killed. There was that 1 3rd down he ran the ball on, and he decided he was going to try and hurdle two guys with 25 feet left to go till the first down marker, and he took an absolute monster shot. It just doesn't make sense.
At one point, I seen their coach on the sideline screaming, "Play smart," because he was fucking stupid.
Well, there's a video that came out of Stephon Diggs telling him the same thing. And it's like, this is what we talked about all offseason
Was for him
with the
to
Bills. The play calling is not good. They don't have a run game, and Josh Allen is like a cowboy. You have to. If he can't reel it in, this team is not. You're an 8 or 9 win team. Best at your best.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis, non-factor. Again, here we go. This is the third.
Yeah,
season
he had a
in
couple
row.
catches that were nice, and outside that, you know what? It's hard to do when you can't run the football and you become one-dimensional. And let me tell you something. The last thing you want to be doing is throwing the ball 45, 50 times against
a good
front
defense.
seven like the Jets.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you're playing at a disadvantage.
Agree. The situation, this is it now. I have some confirmation in my own head that this will be the beginning of the end for the Bills. This feels like the regression is coming. And then we got that other tidbit today of the reporter in Buffalo talking shit about Stephon Diggs on the hot mic. And then Stephon Diggs came out with a Twitter thread now. It pretty much said the audio shared today was very hurtful and it was insulting to my character and to how I was raised. I've always treated people how I want to be treated. I greet everyone with smiles and respect. The media and fans confuse my competitiveness that they witness on the field for who I am as a person. I don't know why it was said, but it's an example of why people don't want to deal with the media. We all get
Basically, he's saying it's fake news.
We all get you have a job, and I respect it, but please remember I'm a human just like you. So there's too much. There's too many factors here for me to have faith in the Bills right now. I'm sorry. Josh Allen has to go through a serious change because this is not an isolated incident. We're going on year 3 now of him being consistently judged. Why don't you think anybody panicked about Joe Burrow's shit show on Sunday?
Because he's going to reel it in, and he's a winner, and he has a body of work of winning everywhere he's been. And have we not called this Josh Allen thing?
We've been talking about it for 3 months now.
Confirmed theory, and I feel bad for the Yak guys in Buffalo. Love you guys. I hope the Bills do well. I love Josh Allen, but
listen, they don't know pain. The Yak guys in Buffalo don't know pain, okay?
Hold on.
They went to 4 fucking straight Super Bowls.
Hold on.
4 straight. Nobody's ever done it.
Those kids weren't
That was
alive for
before
it.
we were born.
The Yak guys,
stop.
The Yak guys weren't alive for it, number one. And number two,
was, and I remember it. The K-Gun, Jim Kelly. Cornelius Bennett.
the Yak
Bruce
guys
Smith.
didn't know.
I remember it.
The Bills have had more success than the Lions over the last decade, and certainly they were robbed of a chance in overtime, probably of a Super Bowl. I mean, if Josh Allen gets the ball in his hands in that Kansas City game, they probably end up going to the Super Bowl. But I don't think they know as much pain as us. They don't know nearly as much pain as us.
They're nowhere near us.
But they know
need to fucking
pain.
Stop.
I mean, we've been saying it from the start. This is shit or get off the pot for that Bills franchise.
They're still going to win games this year. They're still going to win a shit ton of games.
They could win the division, even though they probably looked like the worst team in the division.
The
They could win
Bills
the
will
division.
not win their division.
Yeah, I think we're still in. The Miami prediction, by
Hey,
the way, that we
hey,
all had. We
All
were
it
all
takes
in
is one
agreement on
person
Miami.
to go down, and it
Or
all
did-
goes down in flames.
Did you preseason pick Gang Green to win the division?
Yes,
I don't
I did.
remember.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so you and I on Miami, we look good right
We
now.
look fucking.
Well, you look good
We
because
look
fucking
good.
Aaron Rodgers is gone. That's
We-
why.
no.
Get the fuck out of
No,
here.
we look better.
That's the biggest.
We
load
look
of
better. We look good
bullshit.
before.
If
We look good
Aaron
before.
Hey,
Rodgers,
466.
What does that mean?
466.
What?
That's
days?
to his yards.
Everybody who
year?
said Tua can't throw the ball deep.
That was to his
His
yardage.
response, 466.
Right.
Anyways, anybody have anything else to add on that Monday night game before we move on to some other news? Because there's
Bruce?
quite a
What you want?
Anything to add?
No.
bit. Kadarius Toney. Let's discuss him for a second.
This fucking idiot. Go ahead.
He came out today and he referred to Pat McAfee as, quote unquote, just another goofy when Pat McAfee said that the 3 drops that he had were extremely detrimental to the team, and obviously there's something wrong with Kadarius Toney. Don't you think if you were him, you'd shut the fuck up at this point? Like, this is not, again, we're talking Josh Allen, not an isolated incident. Kadarius Toney, this is not an isolated incident. If you're him, realistically, I think you're
If I was
lucky
him,
to
I'd
be on
crawl
a
in the hole and
roster.
not talk to anybody.
Like, just shut the fuck up. Like, you have to start to think that you're lucky. Everybody in the world watched that game against the Lions, and everybody in the world watched him drop the game away.
It was the most watched game of the week, by the way, and the most watched season opener since I can't remember which one, but it had been a while, like the Ravens and Broncos, maybe, or something like that.
I want to,
which was about 10 years ago.
yeah, like,
So yeah, it just goes to show everyone watched that game low key.
just shut the fuck up, Kadarius Toney, because you suck.
I think the reason why he's firing on all cylinders is because he's getting obliterated by Giants fans. It's been going on for since he got traded. So when was that? November, October?
Do you remember me saying, what is going on with this guy? Why did the Giants just dump him? And basically, they used a high draft pick on him and fucking dumped him.
Yep.
And I was like, there's something going on with this guy. Well, you just see it. The guy can't concentrate. He can't catch the ball anymore. I mean, what the fuck? What is he living on? His little punt return in the fucking Super Bowl?
Pretty much.
That's about it. That's all he's done.
Some injury news. Jerry Jeudy, full participant today at practice. He's on track to play Sunday.
God bless Jerry Jeudy.
Chase Young, full participant, on track to play Sunday. Chargers running back Austin Eckler, battling an ankle injury, did not practice for the second straight day. He is still questionable.
So he's got to log in practice at least tomorrow.
At least.
and
If he doesn't
Saturday.
practice tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, he's got to go full practice tomorrow and Saturday to play.
Steelers defensive tackle Cameron Hayward had surgery on his groin. He will be out till at least week 8.
Oh, wow. That's not good. Not good for them.
Darren Waller practiced, said his hamstring will not be limiting him at all this weekend, and he will be playing against the Cardinals on Sunday. No practice today for Aaron Jones or Christian Watson, who are both dealing with hamstring injuries. That could be big for Packers, who actually looked pretty good over the weekend.
Yeah, they need him bad. There was a big drop-off as soon as he went out of the game.
And, the Rams, one of your favorites, Stenson Bennett to the reserve non-football injury.
And something's going on there, too, by the way.
That's from what I've heard.
What do you mean?
There's a personal
It's
issue.
we're giving him space situation.
Was he drinking again?
Probably.
Because, you got that drunken disorderly the night of the national championship game. He wasn't out there pounding beers again, was he?
He might have been. Who knows?
I like
Browns.
Stetson Bennett.
I know you do.
Wait, real quick. I have 2 important updates.
Go.
3 out of the 4 tackles in the Lions game Sunday could be out. It's pretty much guaranteed that both Cross and Lucas will be out for the Seahawks, which is great news if you're an Aiden Hutchinson fan. I think it's a 3-sack game coming. It's bad news if you're a Geno Smith fan. But
Did they ever sign, what's his name, the ex-Philadelphia player?
They did. Peters.
Yeah, Jason Peters?
They did, but they're going to ease. He's not playing this weekend. They're going to ease him
Okay.
in off the practice
Okay.
squad. Taylor Decker's missed a full week of practice here, which isn't good. It's a ankle issue. He got it early on in the game on Thursday, but he stayed in and he toughed it out. Hasn't practiced. Could be maintenance, but we don't know. And real quick, one more brief update based on last Thursday.
Brian Branch?
No, even better. After the disaster on week 1 of Chiefs offensive tackle Jawan Taylor lining up illegally throughout the game, the league was criticized by it so much that they sent out a memo to all 32 teams that they are cracking down on the illegal lining up and the illegal false starts. They are cracking down on it, and they're going to be looking for it. They sent the tape of what Jawan Taylor was doing to all the crews for this weekend. And that's bad news if you're a Chiefs fan.
That is bad news if you're a Chiefs fan.
But here's the good news for Chiefs fans. Travis Kelce practiced.
Travis Kelce practiced.
Did practice. As did Mark Andrews and some other tight end news.
Yes.
Another team that I know you just love. The Browns are debuting white-out uniforms for their Monday night game against the Steelers.
Did you see them?
I'm a big Browns.
Did you see
I
them?
love their uniforms.
They look.
Always
Can you
have.
show them real quick? They look pretty. They
Got
look
the white
good.
helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They look
Isn't
good.
that
Beautiful.
awesome? Yeah.
Beautiful.
Talk about another that has a chance to be another pretty raucous atmosphere on Monday night. The dog pound on Monday night with a 1-0 record, and the Steelers coming to town. That's going to be a pretty good one.
That will
And
be a physical game.
physical,
Right there.
physical,
Get
and
ready.
and there's a lot at stake for the Steelers. The Steelers really need.
Think
that
about
one.
it. They go down 0-2. The Browns go 2-0,
Mm-hmm.
and on top in the division, are trying to stay with Baltimore.
Let's find out how good Kenny Pickett is. No Deontay Johnson for a couple weeks, and
Yeah,
already
that's a
issues
big
with
one.
Najee Harris. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, so the Steelers are kind of one of those. They're a question mark for me right now. I was really high on them 10 days ago, and I'm not as high as
I will
biggest
say this:
disappointment.
I expected them to do a little more in the draft. I don't know if they had the enough picks to reload that team, but I mean,
I'm going to give you two names right now:
go ahead.
Joey Porter Jr. and Darnell Washington. That should have
who?
been Darnell Washington,
Washington?
your boy. They didn't do a crazy amount in the draft, but they still had a good enough draft. They had a good enough second round to where that they should be. I had them win the playoffs. That could be my big blow up in my face as the Steelers, and I am very disappointed. That was my most
Well,
disappointed.
after we see this game with the Browns, we can make a better assessment of that.
Agreed, 100%.
You know.
Agreed.
Yeah, I had them in the playoffs as well, so that one's going to be
Yeah.
that's going to be interesting. Should we get into this weekend?
Let's do it.
So first, we have a Thursday night matchup to discuss. I know usually the Wednesday show covers Thursday, but it was one of those weeks this week. So we're only going to have two shows. Next week, we will probably be back with all three. So this is our Wednesday and Friday show all meshed into one.
One giant one right now.
We have the Minnesota Vikings and Kirk Cousins not at 1 p.m.
Uh-oh.
going into Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, to play the Eagles, who did not really impress me against the Patriots this weekend. Didn't, but
They won.
they won. The Vikings didn't impress anybody this weekend. So, Uncle Sam, your thoughts on tonight's Thursday night matchup?
Well, it's pretty much the same. I think it's going to be what happened to them last year. It's going to happen again this year. When they played Philadelphia last year, they got pounded.
Oh, yeah. No, they got
They got
blown out.
pounded.
What was it? It was like a 27-7 game.
That was at home too for Philadelphia.
Yes.
So I kind of see the same scenario playing out tonight. I'm sure you're going to see a different Philadelphia team. They're going to come out. They're going to be a little more focused, I believe, especially after the scare they got at Gillette.
Oh, yeah. And it was a
And I
scare.
think they're going to be focused and ready to go.
I can't disagree with that. I think that Philadelphia kind of slept through the Patriots game last week just a little bit. I don't think that's going to happen tonight. And I'll be honest, I think Minnesota is going to have a really hard time tonight. I feel like if there's a team that's going to be able to,
You know, Kirk Cousins is all the turnovers and everything last week. He still was very productive last week.
no, he
Jefferson
was.
had
I
a
mean,
good game, and
They put up. This is the thing, and this is my biggest knock on Kirk Cousins all the time. Like, he's going to be consistent, no matter
Right.
how bad the team is. He's going to put up consistent numbers. But at the end of the day,
no James Bradbury tonight. That's huge. I believe that's huge.
it is. But ultimately, I think that Philadelphia is going to take this one pretty handily. Just for the record here, the line tonight, Eagles are a 6-point favorite, over under a 48.5.
I'm going to go over on that.
You are.
I'm going over on that.
See,
And
why are you sleeping on Philly's defense right
I'm not sleeping on Philly's defense. I just think that they're going to put some points up between these two teams.
I
I think Minnesota's going to come out more focused than they were last week at home. They were embarrassed, so they should come out hard. And they should be able to put some points up. And I think Philadelphia, they got a big scare, and they need to take a long look in the mirror, and we'll see what happens. But I think there could be some points really put up in this game.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm giving the Eagles -6 and the under. I don't think that the Vikings are going to score more than 14 points tonight. Ultimately, we've seen this way too
Listen,
many
you got Justin
times.
Jefferson. That guy
That's
can put
fine.
up
They
3
had
touchdowns
Justin
by
Jefferson
himself.
last year. They had Justin
By
Jefferson
himself.
last year. And Kirk Cousins, for some reason, and I know I was watching Good Morning Football today, and they had Ryan Leaf on there talking about how
Who?
yeah.
Who?
Hey,
Ryan fucking Leaf?
He's
Yeah.
almost the number 1 overall pick.
They had him on
Or
there
was he?
talking about how the time of day you play it doesn't mean anything. It does.
Listen,
Kirk Cousins doesn't
Ryan
play well
Leaf
at
is
night.
the last person that should be talking. Why is he on NFL Network?
He has been for a while.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Thank God I don't watch that show.
Zolo.
So there's a couple things going on. I actually do think Kirk Cousins has the potential to play well in that stadium just because he knows that division pretty well. I think there's going to be slightly more points than usual because both these teams had bad tastes in their mouth from last week.
Right.
Ultimately, I think the Eagles put it away late, and it won't be close in the second half. I think the Eagles' offense will just step on the Vikings' necks. The Vikings' defense won't be able to keep up with them.
The Eagles had a really hard time running the football last week with Gainwell, who's out. So I believe that they're going to pass a little more than they want to.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting at first. I think it's going to be closer, maybe tick for tactics. Where I think the Vikings go over 14 points. I think there's going to be a few points in this game. I'll take the Eagles covering. What is it? -6?
6, yep.
Yeah.
-6, Eagles covering. Eagles win outright. And I also think that the over is going to hit tonight. I like that over. We're due for a good Thursday night game. Wink, wink.
I mean, yeah, that is true. Moving on. Sunday. 1 o'clock games. We have the Green Bay Packers heading to Atlanta to play the Falcons. Interestingly enough, even after the Packers,
1-0 Atlanta Falcons.
the 1-0 Packers versus the 1-0 Falcons. Remember, Packers beat the Bears, who were favored against them,
Correct.
38-20. Coming into week 2, Atlanta is a 1.5 point favorite. Over under in this game is 40. Uncle Sam.
Well, I think Green Bay is more well-rounded than Atlanta is. Atlanta basically has this monster juggernaut run game, but they were unable to push the ball down the field in the air. That's going to come back to bite them sooner or later, and I think it'll be this week with the Packers because the Packers showed they were pretty balanced. They were pretty balanced last week. If Aaron Jones plays, I would take the Packers to win this game.
Are you taking the over?
And I would actually keep the under. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points in it.
Well, we're going to disagree completely here. I'm going to
Okay.
take Atlanta, and I'm going to take the over in this game.
Okay.
Packers showed last week they could put up some points. I get it. It was against the Bears, which doesn't really mean all that much. At the end of the day, I think that Atlanta's going to shock a lot of people this year with the way that they can run the ball. They showed us last week. We have Cordero Patterson coming back this week in his new Joker role. I'm excited to see it. I still don't know if I trust Desmond Ridder. Don't get me wrong. I don't trust him. Drake London didn't get, 1 target, no receptions last week. Kyle Pitts still completely underused. I get all that. But their defense didn't look half bad. And I think their ability to run the ball is actually kind of top tier.
Well, they have some key injuries too. They don't know if Troy Anderson, their top linebacker, their prospect, he's out.
Well,
with a concussion. As far as right now, he went in concussion protocol yesterday, which was Wednesday, and they don't know. He's got to log in at least a couple days of practice before he can play.
I'm a believer in the Falcons' run game, and I liked what the Packers did last week, and I like what Jordan Love did.
Jesse Bates.
But I am going to take the Falcons in this game.
Okay.
And I'm going to take the over because I think both these teams can put up some points.
You covered the storylines for me, but I disagree on 2 fronts. I think that the first things first, I don't know how the Packers lucked out with a good enough schedule at the beginning of the year with 2 easy games off the rip. I'm not happy about that as a Lions fan. But I'm taking the under, number 1, because I like Falcons defense slightly more than I like Bears defense. And I want to see a little more from Jordan Love. He was outstanding. He was excellent. But I want to see you do that in a little more hostile of an environment.
Right, on the road.
Than Chicago indoor. Number 2, I think something's up with Desmond Ritter. I think that they're shielding him for a reason. And I think they don't want him to throw the ball at all, which is why you're not going to see a lot of Kyle Pitts and you're not going to see a lot of Drake London. You didn't in week 1. They're going to run the ball well, but God forbid, if they're going to have to play from behind, you're going to need to throw the ball. And therefore, I think Desmond Ritter is going to be throwing the ball away a lot of the time. We'll find out how good he is.
Who's backing up Ritter?
I don't even know.
If he gets bad, I think Heineke.
Is it Heineke?
It is.
Yeah.
That's not a bad backup.
No.
A guy that's actually played in and won a playoff game.
Yeah.
Or close to it. But I like the Packers. I like the Packers to win outright. I like them, of course, to cover, and I like the under in that one. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points because I don't know if Jordan Love's that good. I don't like him on the road, and I definitely don't like Desmond Ritter.
Interesting. That's you know what? That's going to be a game that's going to tell us a lot. Because if Atlanta has to throw the ball, we're going to actually get to see what Desmond Ritter is, and we're going to see Jordan Love get tested a little bit. That's going to be a game to keep a close eye on.
Two teams on the Lions schedule too. So
That is true.
You're always watching to begin with to see what's going on.
Next up, the 1-0 Las Vegas Raiders
With Jimmy G.
are heading to Buffalo to play the 0-1 Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 8.5-point favorites in this game, over under a 47. That's a lot of points.
Yeah,
But-
it is. For a team that, I don't know.
Zolo, what do you think?
I like the Bills in the under. I think the Bills need to bounce back. I think they're going to bounce back. I think they had too bad of a week this week, and they've been hearing it, and they got to make a statement. I still think they needed that game last week more than the Jets,
Agreed.
and they choked it away.
I
So
agree with that, too.
They really need this one, and meanwhile, the Raiders don't. So
Uncle Sam?
Well, I'm not a fan of the Raiders. Their coaching is dog shit. I mean, let's be honest. They are what they are.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I'm pretty sure we were going over our preseason predictions.
I have the
2
Raiders
weeks
going
ago.
into the playoffs. Yes, I do. But I think they have enough talent on that team to go there. Even though the coaching is a little suspect, I still think they have enough talent to make it to the playoffs.
So are you taking the Bills?
I am
at
taking
8.5?
I think the Bills will win this game, but I'm picking the Raiders to cover.
Oh, here
I
we
think
go.
the 8.5 is too much.
if the Bills are bad, the 8.5 is a lot of points. I'm with
Yeah.
you.
I'm going to take the Bills 8.5, and I'm going to take the over in this game.
Okay.
The Bills are due for a big one. They have to. If they don't this week at home in Buffalo against a Raiders team that I think is one little notch above petrified dog.
Okay,
shit.
here's the reason why I think the Raiders can cover. If they can get their run game going with a very good running back,
they
I
did
think they will
shit.
gash Buffalo, just like the Jets did.
Wow, I didn't even think about
As
that.
a Josh
That-
Jacobs owner, he did not get going in week 1, too. Oh, by the way, with the Packers, Aaron Jones might be out as well in that game.
Yeah, I know,
Also
I'm
changes
depressed.
Things a lot. That's
All you fantasy owners are depressed on that one. Go ahead.
Next up, we have another.
This is a huge game.
It's a divisional.
It's a fucking huge game.
The Ravens are heading to the jungle to play the Bengals in Cincinnati. Bengals 3.5-point favorite in this game. That shocked me. That really surprised me.
They're at home.
I get it. They're at home. But as bad as they looked last week,
Listen, they went on the road to Cleveland.
oh, you sit here and act like going to Cleveland.
Can you give us a dog pound bark real quick? Can you bark like
No,
you're in the
I'm
dog?
not barking. I'm just saying.
I tried, guys. I tried.
think that going on the road to Cleveland, a fired up Cleveland Brown team,
Monday
by
night.
the way, because I think everybody threw the dirt on them early. Nobody really picked them to do anything this year. And they proved they were up for the task. Could Joe Burrow get his shit together? Is that calf an issue or not? That's what they need to find out.
Zola, what do you think?
It's tough because I'm high on the Ravens. I'm high on the Ravens and the Dolphins. They didn't look good week 1, the Ravens, and I think there's not hiccups, but I think it's going to take a while to hit their stride. And the Bengals just need it more. The Bengals
They
need
played a
more
very
at home.
young physical team last week, and you've seen that. And they were playing a very well-coached defense, and I think that's why you've seen them struggle.
Ultimately, the Bengals just need this more. They cannot afford to start 0-2, and if their culture is and their quarterback is as good as we think they are, they're going to come out on top of this one. I like the Bengals, and I like the over in that one.
You want me to surprise you right now?
Yeah.
I'm going to take Baltimore in this game, and I think the Bengals are going to go 0-2. I think that
The last time they went 0-3, they went to the Super Bowl.
I just it,
Start the year out.
as they looked so flat last week. They looked so flat. And I get it, the Ravens didn't have a fantastic game, but I mean the Browns picked apart that Bengals.
So you're
defense.
taking
I'm gonna
Baltimore and the over?
I'm going to take Baltimore in the under.
I'm going to take Cincinnati in the under.
I'm going to take
I think they bounce back this week.
You want to
I don't think you're going to see the same team you've seen last week.
You guys are both the Ravens guys, and you're going with the Bengals.
I know that. I know that sounds weird.
There's context.
I'm the one who picked the Ravens to actually win their division. But
I don't think that the Bengals are going to be able to go from what we saw last. It was the same way last year and the year before. It takes them a couple.
they start
weeks.
out slow,
It
man.
takes them a couple weeks
Yeah.
to get going. And I think that the Ravens, realistically,
That's another slow team that starts slow as the Ravens.
yeah, but I think the Ravens have a little bit more of a chip, especially going into this game. I think they're going to want this game more. I really do.
It's divisional, and you
Yeah.
cannot you like John Harbaugh's done really well in that division over the last couple years.
I think they're
Him
going to
and
come
Tomlin.
hot.
I just think the talent level on the Bengals is so good. It's going to be hard to stop them 2 weeks straight. I don't see it happening.
That should be a fun one.
That's going to be a
That should be a
great.
great game. That might be one of the better games of the week
Yeah, I agree with that.
this weekend here.
Next up, we have the 0-1 Chargers heading to Tennessee to play the 0-1 Titans. Chargers 2.5-point favorite, over under a 45. Give me the Chargers and the under in this game, because I think that all of my predictions on the Tennessee Titans are going to come true, and we are on the cusp of complete and total failure. The Chargers got beat just so narrowly last week.
Yeah, they look great. But if Austin Eckler doesn't play,
I don't care.
okay.
Even if Eckler doesn't play, Kelly looked good last week on his snaps. I don't care. I'm going to take the Chargers in this game. And I know Tennessee's defense didn't look awful last week, but I think
that was a very physical game that Tennessee had.
Tennessee's on the brink of a collapse, in my opinion. And Chargers, if the Chargers were playing anybody else last week, they would have won.
Okay.
I'm with you. Chargers in the under. I think that the Titans do a really good job of emulating the toughness of their coach, but they only do it on one side of the ball. It's defensively, and I think the Chargers need that to bounce back, and the Titans don't have enough to fight off that Charger offensive. So I think I'm going to go with the Chargers and the under.
And the under? Yeah. I think 38 of those 45 will be from the Chargers. So, yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? The Chargers secondary couldn't really reel in the Miami receivers.
I think they will this week.
But I think
you'll see a
that
big the level of competition
Treylon Burks and the ghost
receiver-wise
DeAndre
is
Hopkins.
vastly diminished.
Next up, in what could be the dumpster fire of the week, we have the Chicago Bears heading down to Raymond James to play the 1-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And
You should be happy about Tampa Bay being 1-0.
I can't be.
You're a Bucs fan.
Yeah, but I predicted them to go 2-15. They already
You're
are
a Bucs
halfway.
fan.
They're already
I think you're
halfway there.
wrong. I think you're wrong, and I'm going to take Tampa Bay in this game, and I'm going to go with the under just because I think they're going to win. I think they're going to – Baker Mayfield is going to gut this win out. They're going to be 2-0 and shut everybody up. Tampa Bay.
Baby.
They're back. You remember your little Tampa
Bay.
fucking chance? There you go. What do you jump the bandwagon on Tampa now too?
I'm with Uncle Sam for the same reason too. I saw the tape of Baker and how he just handled that offense on NFL films, and I don't normally pick on swagger, but I love his confidence right now. And Rashad, who's the running back? Rashad Johnson.
Rashad White.
Rashad White came out and said he knew all of the Viking signs and their signals at halftime, and he pulled all the offenses inside, and he said, listen, when they do this, they're going to run this play. When they do this, they're going to switch to cover 2. When they do this, they're going to be in cover 3. And then he did just enough to win, and no one's worse than the Chicago Bears, in my opinion. So
I would love to see Chicago go 0-2 in division, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, in conference too.
Yeah, that used to be
And I
the old division there. Tampa
Yeah.
used to be in that division.
Yeah.
But I like the under, and I like the Bucks at home. I think the Bucks are somehow going to start 2-0 and shoot themselves in the foot for Caleb Williams.
I'm going to take the Bears in this game, and I'm going to take the under.
Okay.
I feel like Justin Fields is going to have a day. He's going to have a 40-point fantasy day. He's going to run the ball. He's going to put the team on his back.
Did you watch him at all last week?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
And what did you think?
I thought he was absolute pure garbage.
If there's a game he could win, it's this one.
It's this game.
Okay.
Bears are going to win.
I'm going to be honest with
He
you. I
ain't
think
winning this
Baker
one.
Mayfield is better than him.
Oh, that's not.
I think Baker
That's
Mayfield
not honesty.
throws
That's
the
true.
ball
That's
a lot
truth.
better than Justin
That's
Fields.
not honesty. It's the truth. You're not lying.
I think that Justin Fields is going to do it with his legs.
Justin Fields is dog shit, dude. When is everybody going to fucking learn, dude? Huh?
Is he petrified dog
listen,
shit, or is there still a little
Why
like
is
a little
everybody anointing
character
these-
to it?
These guys like Justin Fields and Anthony Richardson. Oh, they're the next Cam Newton. Dog shit. Where's Cam Newton at? Where did his career go?
He was an MVP.
He went to one
Played
fucking
the
Super Bowl, then fell off the face of the earth because of Von Miller.
You're such a hater, dude.
Why?
You're just such
What
a hater.
am I wrong? Do you think I'm wrong? You need to fucking stop, dude. That he's a big guy. He's gonna run around. He's physical. He's this. He's that. So is Josh Allen. Look at him.
Well, I
he's
will
dog
say-
shit now too.
Cam Newton has had a more successful career than Josh Allen to this point.
Yeah, because he made it to a Super Bowl.
And he
And
had
what
an
happened?
MVP.
And what happened in that game?
You
He
can't
forgot how to fucking play football after that game.
you can't discredit his MVP season.
Listen to
I've
me.
tried.
Listen to me. He forgot how to fucking play football.
He did.
After Von Miller stole his bag.
That's fair. But you still can't discredit his MVP season. You can't discredit his national championship in college, his Heisman. Like he was
the truth.
he was a very dominant player.
Hey, guess what? DeMarcus Russell was an outstanding athlete just like him, who never watched a day of fucking film. He didn't even know where his playbook was.
Marcus Russell didn't win in college. though.
Anyway,
Marcus Russell could throw the ball 80 yards in the air. I seen it.
okay. Back to Justin
All right.
Fields. I think Justin Fields is going to have a very nice day running the ball. The Bears don't look good. They're going to healthy inactivate Chase Claypool this week, which they
Oh,
should have done
God.
a long time
Yeah,
ago.
he's a big
All
help.
right. I think the Bears will be able to pull this off in what I think is going to be the ugliest game.
I think you're high. Tampa Bay. Okay,
First down, Tampa.
go ahead. Who's next?
Next up, Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs are
The
heading
0-1 Patty Mahomes.
The 0-1 Chiefs are heading to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars.
Another big fucking game right
They
here.
have Chris Jones.
Another big game.
They have Travis Kelce
On the road.
on the road at Jacksonville. In my opinion, everybody knows how high I am on Jacksonville. Jacksonville looked good last week. They did not look great. Indianapolis gave them everything they had. What do you think about this game?
I don't know the exact record off the top of my head, but the Chiefs in this Mahomes Andy Reid era are very good after losses.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I thought, I don't want to call it fluky, but I thought they just didn't play well last week, and I'm not expecting them to not play well again. And conversely, I didn't think Jacksonville was all that outstanding last week. I thought they made a first-timer in Anthony Richardson look very good. And that's not some crazy hard building to play in over there.
I think Anthony Richardson caught them off guard.
Yeah, but
I don't think they expected him to be as athletic as he was.
reeling it in, I just didn't think Jacksonville was great last week, and I don't think the Chiefs, same drill. It's my theme for week 2 is I don't think they can afford to go 0-2. Well, they can in that division. That's a weak division, but they're just not the type to do that. I just don't think Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are going to do that. I like the Chiefs, and I like the points in that game.
You do.
I love. We're due for a bloodbath, and that should
51
be
points.
That should be a very good bloodbath. That should be like 38-28 is my guess.
Okay.
I like that over.
Uncle Sam?
I'm going to take the over, and I'm taking Jacksonville in this game.
Wow.
Quick.
That was quick. Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, here's the problem. Pat Mahomes outside Travis Kelce is not really going to have any. If they bring Kadarius Toney out there again, you might as well throw the fucking dirt on them. Okay?
Real quick here. Patrick Mahomes has only lost 2 consecutive games twice, ever.
There you go. Those are the Chiefs after a loss, ladies and gentlemen.
So I think it might end up being
I'm taking the over in Jacksonville.
unfortunately I'm going to turn my back on the Jaguars here for a moment. I'm going to take the Chiefs. There's no way.
You'd be kicking yourself in the nuts here come fucking
There's
Monday
no
morning.
way. After they lost to the Lions, after the Kadarius fucking Toney shit, after everything that went on, getting Chris Jones back, getting Travis Kelce back, there's no way they lose 2 in a row.
At what point is it going to take Chris Jones to be effective? You think he's effective immediately?
Immediately.
I do too, but I just I think Jacksonville has enough horses that I'm going to be honest with you.
This is the game of the week.
I actually think Jacksonville's receiver core is better than the Lions at this point. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I think their receiving core is better than Detroit's.
What'd you just say?
You know how I feel about Kansas City.
Listen to me,
taking Jacksonville.
I
And I'm
said
saying,
Jacksonville's
I agree with
receiver
him.
core
I'm going with Jacksonville as well. I
is
agree with
better
Oh,
than
you're fucked.
fucking
You're
Detroit's.
fucked. You're fucked.
You don't think
Bruce
Evan
just
Ingram
took
is better
Jacksonville. That
than
means you're
Sam
fucked.
Laporta?
I will say right now, as it stands today, I think Jacksonville's receiving core is better than the Lions.
Calvin Ridley's better than fucking Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That I don't know about yet. We
He
haven't.
is, dude.
We don't
Let's
have
not
enough.
sugarcoat
That's
it.
the only toss-up. They're 2 different receivers.
We don't have
Yeah.
enough to
They're
decide.
2 different receivers.
Sort of. Kind of.
Give me the Chiefs and the over in this game.
All right.
I think that's gonna be
I'm
the
taking
game.
Jacksonville. I'm probably the only one. Are you
Could
taking
be a,
Jacksonville?
He took
Yeah, you
Jacksonville.
suck.
Could be an AFC Championship preview.
I think that is the AFC Championship preview.
I
Next
agree.
up,
I agree with that.
God, did I already use
I
the
still think
dumpster?
Miami's going to be in there.
Did I already use the dumpster fire of the week?
Listen,
Yes.
you know what? There could be multiple dumpsters. Therefore, there could be multiple dumpster fires.
Should we go with toilet bowl for this one?
I
No,
prefer
the toilet bowl is
over
about fucking
Chicago.
2 games down.
Okay,
Chicago and Tampa was
hold
the
on.
toilet bowl.
We're gonna call.
I don't know about that.
We'll do the toilet bowl for Tampa. The dumpster. Just hold on.
This is the toilet bowl, that one.
Actually, you know
Is
what?
this game the Commanders by any chance?
No, it's not. But we're gonna have 3. We're gonna have at least a minimum of 3 dumpster fires this week.
Deal.
The Indianapolis Colts go to Houston to play the Texans. Texans are a 1-point favorite. Over under is 39. Anybody have anything here?
No.
I am taking the Houston Texans, and I want to take the over in this game. I think that their defense is better than Indianapolis's. That's my opinion. I think they're going to – that if Anthony Richardson does anything like he did last week, he'll die this week.
I'm with you
On
on
the
the
field.
Texans. I'm with you on the Texans. I like the Texans at home. I actually thought they were decent. Either they were decent or the Ravens were bad last week.
I don't think the Ravens were bad last week. I think that these guys were ready, and they were ready to play.
You might be right. Dalton Schultz is out, from what I understand, or he's still a little banged up. I don't think the Colts are ready yet. I don't think they're ready to get that win. I think they're going to lock one in at home. This is Stroud's home debut. I thought he was very serviceable last week in Baltimore in a tough environment. He made some big throws as the game went on. I'm going to take the Texans, and I also like the under.
I'm actually taking the over on that game.
Wow.
Yep.
The rookie
I think they'll
shootout.
score more than 39.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Indianapolis in this game.
There it is.
I just one, I think Anthony Richardson looks better than CJ Stroud at this current moment. 2, I mean, Bobby Trees was the guy last week for Houston. Like, I mean, Michael Pittman actually had a very nice little game.
I like Nico Collins.
I think this
Go blue.
the Colt, Zolo, you guys were saying how the teams need this game. I think the Colts need this game more than Houston does.
No, I think Houston needs this game. They want to be relevant. They
They're
want to
not
be
going to
relevant.
be relevant
dude.
this year.
They're going to win.
Neither of these teams are going to be relevant this year. But I think this,
Ryan's going to get his first win as a head coach. He's all fired up right now.
give me the Colts, give me the under. Please, you took the over?
Yeah.
God. That's
Okay.
awful.
No, I could see like a nice little 17-14 if we're lucky type of game.
13
It's 2
to
rookie
9.
quarterbacks. Are they actually going to move the
Yeah,
ball?
no. It's gonna be that's gonna be rough. Next up, we have the San Francisco 49ers heading down to Los Angeles to play the Rams. 49ers are a 7.5-point favorite. Over under 44.5. Solo, what do you think?
I loved what I saw from the Rams last week, but I really, really loved what I saw from the Niners last week. I like the under in that one, and I like the Niners. It's a home. Every time they're in LA, it's a home game.
Yeah,
literally. Anytime someone plays the Chargers or the Rams, there's a good chance it's going to be the opposing team's home game. But in particular on this one, no one raids that building more than Niner fans, and I think that the Niners. It's not going to be a bloodbath. I just don't think Stafford's got enough to put it together 2 weeks in a row. I don't really trust Puka Anuka.
Puka Nakuka?
Yeah. 2 weeks in a row. Or
Kuka?
Kieran Williams, for that matter.
No. The Kuka. How do you feel about the Kuka?
I just want to see fucking Brock Purdy exposed.
Who hates who more? Do you hate Brock Purdy more, or do I hate Justin Fields more?
Wow, that's tough.
I don't know. That's a pretty deadlocked thing.
If you were starting a franchise,
I'm taking the 49ers in this game in the under. The reason why I'm saying that is their defense is going to win fucking 9 games by themselves this year.
Can I take this off
12.
the rails real quick?
Oh.
I don't mean to cause a problem because we go off on tangents way too much. What will it take to get you to buy into Brock Purdy? I'm just curious.
What will it take me to buy him to Brock Purdy?
Yeah.
If Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa goes down hurt and Hafter and Warner goes down hurt, then if they can continue to do what they're doing, I'll jump on the Purdy bandwagon.
What if he throws for and passes for top 10 in
top 10.
top 10 in both of those statistics this
And
year?
what statistic?
Yards and touchdown passes.
Yards and touchdowns.
you have to remember, you have
Not
a
hard to
picture
do
of-
when you have basically the best running back.
You have a picture of Trent Dilfer in front of you before you say this. Remember that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about it?
Just
Hey,
saying.
Trent Dilfer could have went in there and won a fucking Super Bowl with them. You don't think so? Ask him. Trent. By the way, shout out to Trent Dilfer. He's the head coach of UAB.
Okay.
And he's doing a
Anyways,
great job there.
Before we
Shout out
go
to
down
Trent
this road.
Dilfer.
That's my fault.
Okay. If you had to, this is a one-word answer. If you were starting a franchise and you had to pick Dak Prescott or Brock Purdy, who would you choose?
Wow.
Patty Mahomes.
Moving on. Oh, wait. I didn't pick this game. Oh, 49ers in the under.
Okay.
I mean, the Rams, what the Rams did was cute last week. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
I just don't think that Stafford has enough weapons to stay in with them.
Okay,
That's the
Puka
problem.
Nakuka. The Kuka actually didn't look. He looked pretty good last week. I mean,
Listen, they went into a tough place to play and punched them right in the mouth.
yes, they did.
They punched them in the mouth and punched Pete Carroll in the asshole. And I loved every minute of it.
Okay, I think this is dumpster fire number 3 of the week. The Giants.
This is bad.
Heading
This
to
is
the
fucking
desert.
bad, dude. In fact, you know what? I think it's going to be a tie.
The Giants are heading to the desert to play the Cardinals. Both these teams are 0-1, and the Giants did it in a dramatic fashion. Sunday Night Football.
It was
40-0.
It's disgusting.
The Giants are 4-point favorites against Josh Dobbs. Over under 39.5. Tell me your thoughts.
Well, you know, this would have been a divisional game back in the day. But anyway, the Cardinals
What,
used to be in the East.
1965?
No, the Cardinals used to be in the NFC East.
Okay.
The Chicago Cardinals?
It's
Oh.
2023.
St. Louis Cardinals.
St. Louis Cardinals.
They
that's
used to
right,
be
I
in the
knew that.
East.
I knew that.
You didn't know that?
When were the Cardinals in St. Louis?
The Cardinals were
were
in
in St.
Chicago
Louis,
initially,
asshole.
and then St. Louis. Yeah, they go back. The Cardinals. I don't know if you know this. The Cardinals are actually one
Cardinals,
of
the
the oldest.
original team in
They,
St. Louis.
they might be the oldest, one of
Before
the
the
oldest,
Rams.
if not the oldest franchises in the league.
They haven't played in St. Louis since 1987.
Yeah, and
It was 8 years before I was born.
anyway.
Can you pick the game?
All right, I'm going to take. Actually, I'm going to take the Giants to win this game,
That's
and I'm taking the under.
What's the over under? What's the number?
Over under 39.5. No explanation. No.
I'm just taking the Giants in this game. It's a fucking toss-up.
No,
Fuck it.
I like the Giants. I don't think it's a toss-up. I don't think the Giants were as bad as they showed the other night.
No, they're not that bad.
I think the Cowboys' defense is the real deal. And I think the Giants. Remember, they were a playoff team last year. At the end of the day,
Right.
It was bad. It was one of the worst showings last week. But everyone's gonna have a lot to prove. They have a great head coach in Brian Dable, and he's not gonna let them falter this bad on the road. The Cardinals tend to have an easy environment over there, even though it's their home opener. But I like the Giants, and I actually like
The Cardinals played
over.
pretty tough last week. I'll give them that.
They played tough.
Dobbs looked okay.
I like the over here. I like a showcase for Jalen
Okay.
Hyatt. I like a showcase for Saquon. And I like a showcase for Daniel Jones. He tends to step on the necks of bad teams, and he's going to do it.
Okay.
Is this a dumpster fire or no?
It's fringe because we
Yeah.
don't know how bad the Giants are yet. They were a dumpster fire last week, but like, are they a consistent dumpster fire? Is it like a California dumpster
Cincinnati
fire
was
where
a
you
dumpster
can't put
fire
it out?
last week too.
Right.
Yeah,
We know they're not
Okay.
going to be
exactly.
I'm going to take the Giants in this game, and I'm going to take the under just because I think it's going to be like maybe a 21-20. So I think the Giants are going to blow them out, but I just don't know. if it's gonna
you
be
never
40
know.
points.
Danny Ballgame might put 40 on him. You know,
Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes, whatever his name is.
Don't get him confused with Teddy Ballgame.
Teddy Ballgame.
Next up, the Jets. Jets.
The 1-0 Jets.
I already know where Uncle
Tied for
Sam's
first
going
place.
with this. Are heading into Dallas to play the Cowboys. Cowboys are a 9-point favorite. Over under 38.5. Uncle Sam, you're not gonna.
I want to take the Jets.
Oh, you're not gonna.
I want to take the Jets so
if
bad.
you take the Cowboys,
but
here,
here's the thing: the Cowboys' defense is no joke. That shit is for real.
Zach Wilson, baby.
You know what? Fuck that. I'm taking the Jets to win this. I'm taking the Jets, and I'm taking them to cover, obviously. And I'm gonna stay with the under there, 38.5. I think it'll be a tough game.
I mean, these were
16-14.
These were two of the three best defenses
Agreed.
last week, and but I could see the Cowboys just. I mean, who knows? What if Zach Wilson is something? What if he's capable? What if they manage the game perfectly? I don't think their offensive line is good enough. I certainly don't think it's a great matchup against the Jets. Against the Cowboys D line. Their front seven in general, and then the Cowboys have one of the best secondaries in football. They showed out really well last week. I like the Cowboys. I especially like them at home.
There's a reason why I like the Jets, because I think they're going to pressure Dak Prescott like he hasn't seen something yet. He hasn't seen that shit since they played the 49ers.
Maybe, but it depends on how that Jets secondary, which was spotty at best last week.
Yeah.
It depends on how that Jets secondary stops. You know, there's a few more weapons on the inside for the Cowboys than the Bills have, in my opinion. And I can see, I like the under, but I still think Dallas soundly comes away with it, like a 25-10.
Well, if they were
turning.
turning over Josh Allen, I'm sure they're going to turn over you know who.
Well,
because he's a shitbag.
see, as badly as I want to agree with you here, you are the one that's going to make me pick the Cowboys in this game.
Okay.
Because you have the biggest hard-on in the world for the Jets. You have a massive erection for Breece Hall. And Breece Hall is on your bench this week in fantasy, which means you know that the Cowboys are going to stop the run.
I'm waiting to see who's going to clear to play him.
He's
I got
not
him and Aaron
questionable.
Jones.
He's not
And
questionable.
both of those guys are questioned. Yes, he is.
No, he's not. Breece Hall is not questionable.
Yes, he is.
No, he is not. No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Fucking goggles are on.
those
He is not questionable.
Are those readers? Or are they
They're
prescription?
bivocal Milwaukee goggles. Anyways, I'm
You have
taking the
drill?
Cowboys.
You have a Milwaukee drill, too.
Oh, he's got the amount of Milwaukee.
Yo, Alani New in Milwaukee. Where have you been?
Milwaukee really should sponsor
Why
us.
don't you sponsor us?
Give me the Cowboys in the under in this game. I think the Jets are going to get waxed. If you had that much faith, you'd play Breece Hall. You know
I was
Breece Hall's
right.
playing.
Asshole.
There's no question that Breece Hall's not playing. But you won't play him. You want to know why?
Hey, what
You
does
want
that
to know
say?
why?
I'll be honest, I
Hold on,
can't
let
see
me
that far.
Let me see.
I'm
What does
playing.
that say?
I'm
playing
Googling
against
him right
Sam.
now to see if he's
Huh?
see if he's
I'm
been
playing him
practicing.
against Sam in our tip league.
Breece Hall was a limited participant in Thursday's practice.
Limited.
Uh-oh.
So he's questioned.
Limited. If he's practicing, I don't know, Uncle Sam.
He was limited
He's
in
playing,
practice.
and you're going to play Aaron Jones over him because you know
if he full practices, I'm playing him.
if he plays this week, you play him over Aaron Jones,
Yes.
no matter what.
I don't think Aaron Jones is playing regardless.
You see, you'll get the cop out anyways. Next up, dumpster fire alert. The Washington Commanders are heading to Mile High to play the Broncos, who somehow are a 3.5-point favorite in this game.
That's the 1-0 Washington Commanders, by the way.
I'm aware.
Sam Howell.
Over-under is 39. I think I know how this one is going to go. Zolo, take it away.
I like the under two very well coached defenses. One, I take that back. One's just really talented in the Broncos, and then the other one is just well coached in the Ron Rivera Commanders defense. I think his defenses are always tough. I didn't like what I saw from Sam Howell last week. I don't think the hype is real. I thought it was for a second. And again, who needs it more? And the Broncos, Sean Payton really needs that win,
I agree.
especially at home next week.
I agree. I'm taking the Broncos in the over.
Ooh. I'm Broncos and under.
I'm Broncos and over.
I'm going to take Washington in the under.
Okay.
I think I'm. You know how I am. I'm a slappy for the Commanders' backfield. Always have been. I think that I have to see Russell Wilson do it before I can buy in. I can't. I picked the Broncos.
They get Jerry Jeudy back this week.
They have
that's
Jeudy
another
back.
reason
this week.
why
I picked
I'm
the Broncos
taking them.
too many times last year. I'm not until I get burned. I get burned, I'm gonna go against.
That's fair, but the only issue is it's the Commanders.
I know, but they won. I get it. It
That's
was Arizona.
the 1-0 Commanders, bud.
1-0 Commanders. It was the ugliest 1-0 I've ever seen. But
They're tied with Philly.
and you know what? They didn't really get Antonio Gibson into the game that much last week. They really weren't able to get McLaurin going. It was a Curtis Samuel show. We always get those once or twice a year. I'm taking the Commanders. I'm taking the under. It's going to be a 17-12 game or something fucking stupid like that. Next up, Sunday Night Football. The Miami Dolphins are heading up to Foxborough to play the Patriots. Dolphins are a 3-point favorite. Over-under is 46.5. Uncle Sam, what do you think?
I'm taking the New England Patriots in this game to cover. They're going to win, and I'm taking the over in this game.
You've had a lot of shitty picks here.
Okay.
A lot of shitty picks. That's the worst. That's the worst
Why?
one. That might be the worst
Why?
pick you've ever had.
Why do you say that?
I'm
Look
gonna
what they did last week.
Look what they did last week against a team that was asleep at the wheel. Dolphins gas is fully. We're in toga. Dolphins are full steam ahead.
Listen to me. I truly think that Tua is going to see a lot more pressure this week than he did last week. Because the Chargers front seven was garbage last week.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Who on the Patriots defense is going to cover Tyreek Hill, who is at a
Bill
different
Belichick
level
will
than
do a
everyone
combination
else?
of a zone, man zone, mirror, and he'll find a way to try. He's going to get his yards. They know that. They can't let Waddle beat him. They can't let the run game beat him.
If Tua
It's not stupid.
If Tua doesn't throw for 302 touchdowns this week, I will kiss your bare ass on the court steps at high noon. Give me the Dolphins. Give me the over in this game.
Same. Dolphins in the over. Back to Belichick real quick. What he's always liked to do is they go, what does this team do well? And we're going to take it away offensively. I think the Dolphins do so much well offensively. You take away Tyreek Hill, you're going to get punished with Waddle. You take away both of them, which is tough. You're going to get gashed on the ground.
I really liked what Judon and Wise did last week. I do.
The difference,
I think their defensive line is underrated.
The difference between it is. I agree with you, but the difference between the Eagles and the Patriots, or excuse me, the Eagles and the Dolphins, is I actually think the Dolphins have a competent run game. Doesn't matter who you throw back there. That's a coach that's always been good with running backs, and there's enough pieces to gash them if the other two guys get taken away. So I like the Dolphins. I think they're going to be well prepared. I think that Mike McDaniel knows what's going on right now. He's aware of how good his team is. And didn't they play the Patriots closer, tough, both times last year?
Both times.
Did they beat them both times?
They beat them both times.
Yeah, it's weird to think that Belichick can lose 3 times in a row to the Dolphins, but we know for a fact that when they go to Miami that the Patriots always struggle, but
Yeah, that's going to be a shit show.
the Dolphins are rewarded with a mid-September game this time.
Well, I'm taking them here. They're playing at New England, and I'm taking them.
Yeah, I like the Dolphins, and I actually do like the over. It's
I
a
like
weird
the over.
number, but I like the over too.
I didn't bail
'Cause I
on the
think
New England Patriots like some people
the
did.
Dolphins defense got a little gashed. It was Justin Herbert, but they got gashed last week.
Yes, they did.
No matter what, and I think the Patriots can do enough.
Wait till they got
gash
to
too.
cover Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah. Or who was it? Booty dropped the
Boutte?
fucking whatever.
He was actually good. You know, he was in the national championship game against Georgia. He had a really good game.
Yeah. Looked like it last week. Next up, in the first of 2 Monday night games as we begin a new era of 2 games on Monday night, the Saints are playing the Panthers in a big old divisional game. Saints are a 3-point favorite. Over-under is 39.5. This is going to be a pretty decent game. I'm going to take the Saints -3, and I'm going to take the under in this game.
I agree.
I
the way.
I like the Panthers in the under. I think the Panthers are getting a little more firepower back this week. I like Bryce Young in his home debut. He was a little bit more of a game manager last week.
Shark come back this week?
Chark should be back this week, from what I understand, but it's early. That being
he needs
said,
it.
I like Bryce Young at home. I just didn't like what I saw from the Saints last week. I thought, of course, the Titans play teams tough, but this is a little bit different. I think the Panthers have a similar defense as the Titans do.
Yeah, that game was really, really physical. That Titan game was real physical.
It was, but I actually do like the Panthers, and I also like the under.
I think Derek Carr's still decent at football.
We'll find out.
I think Michael Thomas is going to have himself a little game this week. I do.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Olave looked like he was in midseason form last week. I'm good with the Saints on that one. I still think the Saints are the division winner here.
Their defense is still good.
Next up on Monday night, part 2, the 1-0 Cleveland Browns head to Pittsburgh to play the 0-1 Steelers. Cleveland's a 2.5-point favorite. Over-under is 38.5. I don't even know. I mean, I flip-flopped these two in my thought process before the year started. What do you think?
I'm taking Cleveland.
Come on, bark. I'll bark. We'll do it at the same time.
I'm taking Cleveland, David. Okay, taking Cleveland.
The Elves.
Taking Cleveland. So they showed a complete game last week. Can they do it 2 games in a row?
You're such a hypocrite, dude.
What?
All you do is
They
talk
showed a complete
shit
game
about
last week. They were good offensive. Their defense was outstanding last week. And if they could shut down Joe Burrow, you don't think they're going to shut down Kenny Pickett?
Joe Burrow shut
Give me a
down
break.
Joe Burrow. Zolo.
Surprisingly, I'm with you. Number one on it's just I don't know. It's a toss up, and when we have toss ups, we ride the hot hand, and I think the cold hand was Kenny Pickett. I thought that I mean, no matter how good the Niners defense was, that was a very bad performance from the Steelers. No Deontay Johnson, no Cam Hayward. That's a step in the wrong direction. And the Browns were more than good enough, and I think that's going to be a crazy atmosphere at home. So I reluctantly am going to take the Browns.
You know, hey, this is always been a hard-fought battle between those two teams. They're rivals, and they really put it out on the field.
I can't believe you're not barking with me.
No barking.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh in this, and I'm going to take the under.
Fuck yeah, you are.
Fuck yeah, I am. I'm going to take Pittsburgh in this one, even though I talked so much shit about Bruce was the only asshole in America that picked Pittsburgh over San Francisco last week. But I'll be an asshole with him this week, and I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I'm going to take the under. Listen. Deshaun Watson.
Tug and rub?
Tug and rub. Tugged and rubbed. Okay? I think Kenny Pickett bounces back. I think Najee Harris has a decent game. I'm still believing in the Pittsburgh Steelers until they shit on me this week, which they probably will.
If Kenny Pickett's good, we'll know.
We'll know. This will be the will know game.
Yeah.
And to wrap it up, we have the Seahawks of Seattle coming to Ford Field to play the 1-0 Detroit Lions. Detroit is a 4.5-point favorite. Over-under is 47. Go ahead, Zolo.
Oh, I'm leading?
You're leading. Oh, you know what? We'll come back to you.
No,
Bruce?
let him go.
No, let Bruce
Let him
pick
go.
first. We're going to let Bruce pick.
Go ahead, Bruce.
I'm gonna take the Lions. I don't know how you do the line bullshit. What's this?
He doesn't know what the over-under is still. This is year 2.
Where are we? Oh, I'll take the under.
Okay. Uncle
What's the
Sam.
number, Bruce? Tell us the under. Or what's the number that you're going under?
47.
47 and a half?
Just says
It's 47.
It's just
straight 47.
Straight 47?
Straight 47.
I think I'm going over that 47, and I'm taking the Lions.
I am going to take the under for sure in this game. And I'm going to take the Lions as well. And to start out the year, preseason predictions, I took Seattle in this game. I had the Lions winning week 1 and losing week 2.
I had them winning both weeks.
Because Seattle is like that weird fucked up trap game, but I also expected Seattle to throttle the Rams last week, and I think Seattle looked pretty pitiful. And I just don't think they're going to bounce back that quick. And I think the Lions are in a mindset right now where they can beat anybody at any given time. So I'm going to take Detroit.
Back-to-back revenge weeks.
Back-to-back revenge weeks and blue ski masks and all. I think they're going to win this game. But I'm going to take the under because I can't see Seattle putting up a ton of points here. Their offensive line's decimated, and Detroit's defensive front looks incredible.
Yeah, I think a massive game from Aiden Hutchinson's coming, and James Houston for that matter. All of this year's factors aside, the Lions like to talk about, well, that was last year's team. I know that 2/3 of that locker room is so angry at what happened when they played Seattle last year, including their defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn. And I also know that they were also angry when Seattle beat the Rams on that bullshit missed penalty call on the roughing the punter that shouldn't have been. And I think the Lions just have such a bad mouth that they want to beat Seattle into the ground and forget the fact that the tackles are out for Seattle, which is bad. Hutchinson's going to eat. Okay, forget that. Forget the fact that Geno Smith looked really bad week 1. Forget the fact that Devin Witherspoon's a rookie and is going to get picked on. I just think that going off of last year, the Lions are going to be out for blood. It's going to be the most fair. Whenever there's a predicted feral atmosphere at Ford Field, like foaming at the mouth atmosphere at Ford Field, the Lions deliver every time. And I just think the emotions are going to be so insane after last week. And I agree. They could just, they're thinking right now, there's no one we can't beat.
Yeah.
And it's up to and including the Seattle team. And I like the Lions. I like the over. I think Ben Johnson bounces back with play calling, and I think they're going to score a lot of points. And conversely, even though this was a bloodbath last year, I think it was the highest scoring game of the season last year, or one of them. Even though it was a
Philadelphia
bloodbath.
was higher than that.
Philadelphia, the Lions in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
No, the Lions in Seahawks, the Seahawks didn't punt, and the Lions only punted one time, and they went like tit for tat last year.
I thought Philadelphia game they scored more points.
Regardless, I think this is the time. I've been looking forward to Sunday even before last week. I've been looking forward to it for a long time, and the emotions are just going to run too high for the Lions to do anything other than, it's going to be close at times, but I think they're just going to run them out of the building in the second half. I like the Lions, I like the over, and I like the crowd more than I like anything going into Sunday.
I agree. I think that place is going to be absolutely insane. Absolutely insane down at Ford Field.
I will not be wearing a blue ski mask, but
Why not?
Because I couldn't get one in time.
Well,
You know what's fucked up? And Bruce reminded me of this. There are two.
Bruce, I got some blue duct tape at home. We could wrap your head in duct tape.
I have
Could do that.
blue ski masks here. We just have to find them.
They were black, not blue.
No, I had
paint
blue
them.
ones as well.
We'll
I had
spray
blue,
paint
orange,
them.
and black. Yeah, go get some paint.
No, I love the ski mask thing too. A shout out to CJ Gardner-Johnson. I said this when he went down a month and a half ago. I go, listen, they're not missing his on the field play. They're gonna miss him in the locker room, and I think he's special. He's something special. CJ Gardner-Johnson.
He's not playing this week?
No, he's playing, but he's the one that inspired the the
mask
the
thing.
blue ski mask thing.
Listen, I
he
just
put
want
on
them to win,
postgame.
dude. I don't want no fucking gimmicks. I want them to come out there hungry and do the work, do the fucking work.
Lights, the fire.
That's an important point because they, in order to capitalize on all this momentum, they do have to do the work and they
Yeah.
do have to get the win. And it's a team that
There's
got you
nothing
last
I
year.
would love better than to see Pete Carroll go 0-2. Nothing I would like fucking better.
I'm with you.
Amen. Well, I would say that was a pretty good preview for this week coming up. Anybody have anything else to add? You?
No,
No, we don't get a God bless. We don't get a
No.
shout out. We don't get anything.
I already gave the shout out.
What?
My man Trent
Oh,
Dilfer,
Jesus. Zolo, anything.
UAB head coach.
If you're going to the game Sunday, just enjoy it because there's not going to be there aren't many instances where we've been blessed to have atmospheres like
Yeah, you
what's
guys,
gonna happen Sunday.
are you guys. Let me tell you something about going to a playoff game where the Lions actually win. There's no feeling like it.
Yeah,
I still remember the Silverdome. I think it was 87,000 people stomping in the rafters there at the Silverdome when they beat the Big Three with Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and Michael Irvin.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
they
It's not a
Huh?
playoff game.
they're
Not a playoff game.
they're trying
It was a
to.
playoff game.
No,
This is not a playoff game.
Bruce,
But
I
the
genuinely
atmosphere should be
think
comparable.
that they're gonna break the indoor decibel record on Sunday. I could totally see that happening. I just think that it's gonna be
It's
so
Detroit. Anything can
so
happen to
special on
Detroit.
Sunday. I think it's gonna be like a once in a blue moon. I mean, the games can get better throughout the year, but if you're going Sunday, the gist is enjoy it, make noise if you're there. Hopefully, the team doesn't let you down. Appreciate it because it should be a hell of a ride
Listen,
on Sunday.
Seattle's been pumping crowd noise into their stadium for fucking 20 years, dude.
God, here we
At what point do they get exposed? Let's see if they come here. Let's see if they can go on a silent count here because they're going to fucking need it. They're going to need it because it should be deafening in there.
Is that
Should be.
is that a verified thing or is that one of
yeah.
the conspiracy theories?
No, I truly believe that. They've been pumping noise in there for fucking years.
Anyways, one little piece of news before I end.
I don't buy it. I don't buy an outdoor stadium that can outdo an indoor stadium. Don't buy it. I'm sorry. I don't.
Go ahead.
Conspiracy theory. Taylor Swift and tight end Travis Kelce have been, quote unquote, quietly hanging out.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Really? You know what? What? Just
He's folding his hands.
tear your Achilles, please.
Oh my God! You're talking about Taylor Swift, right? Not Travis Kelce.
Both of them.
He's done.
You just see his left. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. Make sure to follow our socials, Instagram and Twitter at Tip Balls, Instagram and X.
Fucking Swift. Are you kidding me right now?
I'm in the middle of the outro.
I'm sorry, dude. I Taylor Swift? The little skinny white girl?
Yes, indeed. That Taylor
Travis
Swift.
Kelce thinks he's a brother, for Christ's sake. What are you talking about, dude?
Follow us on TikTok at Tip Balls
I
Podcast.
thought he'd be like with Kim Kardashian or something like that.
She's next.
If you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, check us out on YouTube and remember to click subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in to another week. We will be back Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Week 3 coming up next.